veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no, I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capping space. I won't stop till I hear him say,
hey there, A-Team. Hey there, members. Hey there, hey there, viewers. Hey, everybody. How you guys doing today? How you doing, Alex?
Doing good. And traveling a lot since the year began. I just got back home literally late last night. So
oh my goodness, you're always here and there.
Yeah, road runner. You know,
road runner. Okay, I like that.
Yeah, road runner. So, but like I said, things have to be done. I'm never one to make excuses. I get stuff done. You know what I mean?
All right. Magnetic repellent.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah. Well, anyway, we're here today, guys. We're here to talk about BELLE Collective on OWN. Today is season 2, episode 3, Love, Marriage, and No Baby Carriage.
Yeah, no baby carriage. Yeah,
no baby carriage.
And don't need it.
What? You say they don't need it? I thought a married couple, that's part of the role of a married couple is to reproduce. Well, she doesn't have any though. What's because he has 5? What that got to do with her?
He the one pushing the issue. We'll get into that.
You'll get yeah. Hey Monique. Hey Roro. How you guys doing? Good to see you.
What's up, guys?
Yeah, what's up? We'll go ahead and get into these little notes and whatnot.
Yeah, I wait to see my girl Ellen V. Is Ellen V gonna be in the house?
Yeah, I hope so. She was invited, but you never know. She might be busy. You never know.
No, who's Esther Jones from Chicago? Chi-Town in the house.
Okay, I got my first note up. Let me see. What are you talking about? I had to go over here to the notes section. Oh, okay. Oh. Hey, Esther. Hello from Chicago. Yeah, that's one of my favorite cities in the whole world. I love that town.
Yeah, absolutely.
Beautiful city.
I've only been there on business though. I got to go there and make a leisure trip.
Oh yeah, it's so much, especially in the summertime. Now, I wouldn't advise going to Chicago in the winter.
No.
Just my opinion, but
right.
Beautiful city, but you definitely want to go either, when it's warm, the warmer times of the year, June, July, August, maybe even May, but the winter months, too harsh, too cold.
Crazy.
Yeah. So as we open, Letitia's messy brunch continues, the fallout from that and the scenes from that continue to come down. I don't know. I'm just really, as I watch it and rewatch it, I'm just having a hard time believing that these are actually grown women and professional women at that.
Messy is putting it nicely,
Yeah. I'm keeping it always PG-13, but like I said, it's just like this is something people do. It's hard to say women because this is something that people do when they're teenagers, when they're middle school teenagers. All this yelling, all this cursing, all this talking about the H word, calling women out of their names. I don't get it. Like, I mean, you're trying to be professional. You're supposed to be entrepreneurs. You're supposed to be business women. What's up with that?
Yeah. Well, first and foremost, I think that, of course, Letitia's heart is in the right place.
Mm-hmm.
To get the women together, to try to build, get to know each other, find out what each other's area expertise is as she try to, I guess, do this Ferry Street project. And
right.
Of course, Akila, is that her name?
Akeisha. The newest lady that's been added. Yeah, Akeisha.
Yeah, the bougie one.
The bougie one, yeah.
Yes. I mean, she apparently wants to help in the Ferry Street project or take a leadership role in that. But my issue with the whole brunch is that Monique, not Monique, excuse me, Marie and Letitia are supposed to be friends, right?
Right.
And they have the closest friendship or whatever. It's in my opinion, if Monique is really her friend, she should have told her, I can't make it. I don't want to be there. I got other things to do, or I just don't feel like coming. Instead of coming to your friend's event and destroying the event. What kind of friend are you? You don't come to your friend's event and destroy the event because you in your feelings. Stay home. Now, granted, you got a lot going on, Marie. Stay home.
She does.
Okay.
She does. Yeah.
You don't have to come out and act phony or fake around a bunch of women you claim you don't like, particularly Latrice. Okay. For some reason, Latrice got this beef that's been going on. All right. And, Letitia's trying to play peacemaker. They don't have to like each other. It's not a prerequisite. They don't like each other for whatever the reason. Because I'm not even sure what the reason is. Do you?
Wait a minute. You saying, why Latrice and Marie don't like each other? Yeah, right. We're going to kind of get in. I guess we got to get into it now. Yeah, basically, long story short, Marie thinks that Latrice from last season, she told a blogger and she kind of put the word out and she mentioned it on the reunion show about some implying that there's some fraudulent things going on at her agency, which kind of, I guess, put her into a spot with the state. And she says she lost business. She says she lost some clients behind it because people didn't trust her integrity and so forth and so on. But I'm hearing on the YouTube streets, allegedly, that this information was available and people knew it going into the reunion. So it wasn't Latrice that actually, let the cat out the bag. People already knew about it. It was already rumored in the Jackson area. So
and here's the thing, if you got the issue, then you take it to Latrice. You don't wait until your friend's event, your so-called friend. You don't wait until your friend's event, because would you have done this if this was Essie's event? Since you're so close to Essie and only blood, make sure not be sisters and all this other kind of stuff.
Are they sisters or are they
lickety split?
I don't know. Could be lickety, could be split.
Yeah. We're gonna get to that. Okay, but the fact is, if you have a friend who you say is close friends, first and foremost, don't show up to your friend's event and act a fool. And secondly, for Letitia, if Marie wanted to leave, let her go. What are you following her for? She's not 2 years old. She's having a temper tantrum. She wants to stomp. She wants to go in the bathroom. She wants to sit in the bathroom with her hands crossed like a 5-year-old. Let her stay there. Continue to have the event. Do what the focus is aimed at. She just distracted everybody.
Right.
And this is not about the plates being dirty, the waffles being overcooked, because Miss Thing made that very clear. Okay, the plates are dirty, the waffles are overcooked. There's no service at the event. She had a big issue with that.
Right. That was Akeisha, right? Yeah, she did.
Okay. So despite all of that, Letitia let it get out of hand because she chased Marie into the bathroom, and she should never have done that.
Right. I agree with you. I say, if you're the hostess, you're the one to put this together, and you're the promoter, the hostess, the organizer, the leader of this brunch. Why are you getting up following some child into the bathroom, into the men's room at that? Why are you doing that? I mean, if it was over with, and she was in the bathroom and the event was over with, I could see that. But at that point, when she's running into the bathroom and breaking up the brunch and acting all silly, I would have just continued on. I would have had something else to do, something else planned, and continued the conversation and talk about what those women actually came there for. And I would have called my friend afterwards. That would have been, because you're not the priority. This brunch is the priority.
Right. I have a goal here. And it's not about your temper tantrums, and it's not about who you like or who you don't like. That's not why we're here. That's for another venue. That's for something else.
Right.
And then on top of that, I get tired of these shows, and all these shows do it. They get the two adversaries, and you get because Love and Marriage DC did the same thing with Monique and Winter. Okay, you get the two adversaries, and you always try to play peacemaker. They don't have to be friends, you know. Latrice is sitting there talking to Essie, okay, and here comes Letitia. Oh, do it for me. Go in the bathroom and talk to her. Can you just do it for me? Why do I have to talk to her? She don't like me. You
Right.
know,
I was gonna say, I thought actually I really honestly was afraid going, from last episode. I was afraid that when she went in there, I was afraid that was gonna turn into a physical altercation. I wouldn't have went in there. If you are
no.
that hateful toward me and you're running away from me, why am I going to? It's like a trap. It's like a trapped animal. Why am I gonna come after you? You're trying to get away from me, right? So why am I coming after you to say anything?
Everything's already extremely elevated. All all the
Exactly.
emotions are heightened. The anger is heightened. Everything is at its peak. So
Mm-hmm.
why does she have to come and antagonize the situation further? Why would she do that? Why would you even ask her to do that?
Right.
You
That's
know,
that's why I say I think Marie is, these women are lacking in emotional and social skills because why are you doing that? Anybody knows, like you pointed out, Alex, if the tension and the emotions are heightened, you don't bring somebody, the person that the one person is angry at, you don't bring them closer into the fray. That's crazy. I want to read this. So this is important that we just kind of discuss this. Marie started the BS the first season about the hair, and that's right. That's right. In the first, at the first brunch of last season, this big brunch that also Letitia, another one of her brunches, her first brunch, when she brought these ladies together, Marie started off the evening sitting across from Latrice, and she was telling her, well, I bought this hair from your store, and this is what I get. This doesn't seem right. I don't like it. It's not working out. I thought you were supposed to have high quality hair, not low quality hair. So she started the shiznick stuff all the first season, in my opinion. So for her to say to turn it around and say that Latrice is the one, no, you started it. And you started at a professional brunch. You didn't know how to talk to her. She told you to talk to her, give her store a call, and she gave you all this stuff, meaning Latrice. And Marie would not leave it alone. She could not be quiet. She could not call during store hours and business hours because Latrice was busy telling her, this is not store hours. I'm sorry, this is unfortunate, but we'll take my staff will take care of it. But Marie didn't want to hear that. So really, honestly, I feel like Marie is being very juvenile, but at the core of it, I really sense that Marie has all these unresolved issues from her childhood and her mother, and she takes it out on other women. That's what I feel like it really boils down to.
and on top of that, and you're probably right there, but on top of that, in her own personal private life, she just keeps digging a hole and digging a hole and digging a hole and piling more weight on her shoulders instead of relieving herself of some of that nonsense in her life. She keeps piling it on, and she's getting more angry, more discontented. All these things, and she takes it out on everybody else. Lighten your load. Go get some therapy. Start eliminating people out of your life.
Right.
You
Absolutely.
It's unbelievable with her.
Great point too, Esther. Thanks for contributing that. And so, like I said, you said Letitia, she played into it. I didn't really understand what the heck they were doing. I'm going to move on to the next card.
Mhm.
Marie expects, oh, and so getting back, yeah, so what you're saying, Marie expected Latrice to actually admit or claim that she tried to destroy Marie's business. Who's going to do that? If she
Right.
actually even did that, and I don't believe she did, it's like, it's like I said, it was known fact, or it was speculated that Marie's business, there was some, mishandling or whatever. And only thing that Latrice did was speak to it at the reunion, and she claims that Latrice was trying to get the blogger not to spill it out. I don't know about that. That maybe sounds a little fishy too. So I'm not saying I agree with that or believe that, but whatever. At this point, you being a mean girl on TV on national camera, how is that helping your business? How is that helping you look like a professional businesswoman? How is that restoring your integrity?
Right. Right. And even if Latrice, let's say for the sake of argument, Latrice did all that stuff and maybe she was in a bad place. Maybe she just did it to be spiteful. Who knows? But let's say for the sake of argument, she did it. And she
Okay.
came to Marie and said, you know what, Marie, for whatever the reason, I did it. I apologize. I was in a bad place. I was going through stuff, zaddy, whatever she wanted to say. Is Marie in a position to receive that and be forgiving? I don't think
No,
so.
no.
I don't think so. I think she wants to stay angry because the thing is, she's losing control on every other aspect of her life, including her health. She has no control over her husband, over what her
Mm-hmm.
son does with his penis.
The ratchet son.
The ratchet son, what he's doing with his penis. She has no control over, of course, lupus. She's having health issues. She has no
Yeah.
control over no other aspect of her life.
Or
And
all
she's
these
angry about
grandchildren.
that.
Or all these grandchildren she's having to take care of, like you said, from the son, who apparently hasn't discovered what condoms are created for. I mean,
Right.
like they're very cheap. You can go to health department and get them for free. Actually,
Yeah, they give them out.
they give them
Okay.
out. They give them out. They
So,
should maybe
she
be giving out vasectomies too, but that's a whole nother
he
story.
at this point he needs one,
Yeah.
because he has no self-control. So, but I also think that she's stressed out over one of the grandchildren's mom, of course, who was unalived in that shooting incident.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's definitely weighing on her, because
Yeah.
that little boy, that little, what is he, 2 3 years old, 2 2 years old, he's
Mm.
never gonna get to know his mother.
Right.
Never.
Right.
He'll only be able to see pictures and hear people talk about her, but he'll never really get to know the young woman that carried him and brought him to life, brought him into this world.
Right. And
That's
that's very hurtful. It's disheartening. My heart goes out to that child and to the young lady's family, and to Marie to a degree, because she's taking so
AJ.
much on,
Yeah.
and she don't have to really take all that on, especially with her husband. And we'll get into that later too.
Yeah,
All
that's
this
coming
nonsense
up.
about the Rolex watch is,
Oh. Hey Jay, hey girl.
What's up,
She said
Jay?
Jay's got a birthday coming up on Sunday. Ooh, ooh, I'm not supposed to tell. Oh, I'm
Oh, her
sorry.
25th
Never
birthday.
mind. Yeah, her 25th
Her
birthday.
25th. What's up, Ellen?
Hey, Ellen.
I was
Oh,
looking for
okay.
you. I was looking for you,
Yeah.
Ellen.
Yeah, High Vibe agrees. She says Marie definitely needs counseling stat.
Yeah, stat.
Stat. I can almost picture High Vibe saying that. Stat.
Stat. This now,
Why,
get
why
to
don't
it.
you read? Why don't you read what Jay also has to say?
Jay says Marie tried to ruin her business. Now she mad others did her the same. What goes
Yeah,
around comes around.
right. She's saying, she's agreeing that Marie tried to ruin Latrice's business in the beginning last season. So
Right.
maybe it's coming back on her.
You reap what you sow.
Right. That's it. Everybody's running around talking about karma, but I said I don't know. There's a truth called you reap what you sow. That's the one I go by.
Yep. That's it.
uh,
Monique King. I didn't think about that either, Jay. Good point. Lying about that hair.
Yeah, saying she got that hair, and the girl kept telling her, "No, that ain't my hair. You didn't pay for the good stuff. No, that's not mine. You got the receipt." Oh, and that was another thing too last season. So Latrice asked her about, did she have the receipt? The girl Marie was like, I don't know what I deal with it. I don't keep receipts, whatever. Well, that's the first order of business. I don't know why sometimes as African Americans we try to forget the rules of business with ourselves, amongst ourselves, and things that we would never do at Walmart or Macy's or anything like that. When you're getting ready to take something back, you need what? You need the receipt.
You need the receipt. You can't go in there with word of mouth. And that previous comment from Jay, I want to say something about that. You just took it off where she said some people are happiest living in misery and complaining, and there's a disorder, a clinical disorder known as Munchausen syndrome by proxy. Munchausen by proxy. And this is a syndrome where a person will hurt themselves intentionally or even their children to garner attention for themselves because they crave attention that badly. So they'll make their children sick or they make themselves sick on purpose so everybody can come around and go, "Oh, you need anything? We love you." All this attention that they wouldn't otherwise get if they didn't create this crisis. And that's called Munchausen by proxy. And when Jay put that comment up, it reminded me of that because it's almost as if that's what Marie is doing.
That's a good point, because I definitely say everything about her from last season to this season is always that she's seeking so much massive attention again, I go back to her childhood. We think about her mother was a drug addict. Her father had to raise her. She did not have the love and the nurturance of a mother. And even now, her mother has disappointed her over and over again because her mother has failed sobriety multiple times, again and again and again.
I would be done. I'd be
Even
done.
even recently. But what I'm saying is, but I say all that to say this, is that I think she feels lost. She felt neglected as a child. She was neglected. She did not get that nurturance and that attention. And so now she acts out all the time, because if you notice how she stumps and pouts, who does that? A child, right? A young
Mm-hmm.
child. She's stuck in that age, and that comes from trauma. That comes from unresolved trauma.
But and also Jay is funny with her birthday. She's celebrating
But
25 for the umpteenth time. Really?
well, hey, that's one way to say it. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're gonna
for the
be
umpteenth
25
time.
again.
But with
This
Marie,
your
it's like,
your girl to
oh,
be is here.
there she go. Hey, baby. I got the ring on layaway.
Oh boy, wait a minute. DeSosa, you gonna be 20 years the girlfriend.
She gonna be Mrs. Repellent.
Oh, that's hilarious. You silly, you silly, you silly.
Oh, but
But
you know something I'm wondering too is because
mhm.
Marie's a pretty woman, but she has
Yeah,
a
she
lot of
is
masculine energy.
very
Where's this
much so.
masculine energy coming? Essie definitely has it.
Well, she
So
was raised by her father. Didn't you get the point? I said that she was raised by her father. So a young lady, a woman raised by her father, I'm assuming her father, is a typical guy. So I'm assuming that was masculine energy that he had. He didn't
right,
really know anything about being a girl. And unfortunately, it doesn't sound like, even if your mother isn't present, though, sometimes you have an auntie or a grandmother, but it doesn't sound like there was any woman that came in, stepped in to give her that feminine energy. Like I said, it doesn't feel like she had that nurturance,
yeah.
that nurturing that she needed. That's why I feel like she is lacking. She lacked the attention. She was neglected. Maybe not, it wasn't obvious, but she was neglected. I mean, just because a lot of times men think that because they put a roof over a kid's head and put food in their belly and clothes on them, that's what they need. But there's a lot more to raising a child.
And you know what? This childhood trauma thing seems to be an ongoing theme. It's become a phenomenon because Latrice also has it that she discusses later on in the episode as well.
About Latrice and her dad. Yeah,
Her dad
yeah.
and her brothers.
Her dad and her brothers. Yeah, we'll get to that. That's a mess.
Yeah,
That's it's really
crazy.
sad. It's
Yeah,
sad. Yeah. Yeah, and it may be part of the reason her mother believes why she is married such a much older man of 20 years. Oh,
right.
hey, who's that? I haven't seen this name before. You seen
New
this
York,
name before?
New York City carelessly.
Mm.
NYC. No, I haven't. Never
Mm-mm.
seen the show. Is it worth watching? Yes, it is.
Yes,
Yes, it
yes,
is.
absolutely,
It is.
absolutely. It's on. If you have it, it's on OWN TV. It comes on Saturday evenings at what is that, 9 o'clock,
Yeah, 8 or 9 p.m.
8 or 9?
Saturday nights. Yeah,
Yeah.
8 or 9. But yeah, I think it's a very interesting show, much more interesting than Love and Marriage DC was. But I hope they bring that back. But I think the Bell Collective is a much more interesting show because the cast, the women involved in the show, they're so dynamic in their own way in different ways.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah,
They
and
are.
I think they're very interesting. Dysfunctional, yes, but I mean we all a little bit dysfunctional. Um, but some of them are to the extreme, and we'll get to that too.
Right, right, right. So we're gonna move along. I was just saying that when I was asking the question, of course, I ran out of letter space. When are they going to take control over their emotions? And you kind of pointed to that too. That no one, none of them. And then I say that, just last thing on this. That even Letitia. What did you think of Letitia just breaking down with the producer at the end of the scene? Just breaking down, talking about how she tries and tries, and she tries to put her best foot forward, and things just never seem to work out, and so forth and so on. What did you make of that?
Well, she did it to herself. She lost focus. When you're trying to build something and do something great, you have to at all costs maintain focus. Don't get distracted, because the distractions are going to come. You know, you and I had a conversation about testimony. Okay, your testimony.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so
seems like it was only today.
yeah, it seems like it was today, right?
Wink, wink.
Yeah, right. You know, so anytime you're elevating in your life, when you're ascending to accomplish great things, something will inevitably come to distract you, to test you, to see where your focus is, to see where your drive is, to see if you got the grit to get this done. You're going to be tested. It's not going to be easy. So if you allow the distractions, if you allow yourself to be misled and go off course and lose focus, then, you know, the spiritual enemy wins. It's spiritual warfare. Okay. And they're always going to use this. This is the trick to spiritual warfare. I'm not going to be preachy, but here's the trick. Okay. They're only going to use those that are closest to you to distract you, those that you love, those that they say are your friends, your children, because you wouldn't care about nobody else.
Yeah, that's a good point. You know what? I never thought of it that way. That's a very good point. That is a very good point.
So her crying to the producers and everything, you know, I felt for her. She was hurt, but she kind of did it to herself.
Yeah, we're gonna get into a little bit more about that brunch and what I feel and what your thoughts are about Lakeisha's failings at that brunch too. You know, even more so. But moving forward, Akeisha, I said may be bougie, but I have to agree with her that this brunch was neither impressive nor empowering. Because who was empowered with that? You know, the ladies in the bathroom talking about the H word, calling the other women in there those H words and those B's and this kind of thing. Like, how are you going to empower me by calling me out of my name? I'm offended. But
she get a bougie pass for this one.
She got a little bougie pass for that one. And then I said, and Marie, the problem, you know, Marie says, well, people have problems with her because she's got all these things going on. And I don't remember her exact words, but what I responded back to her words that she said, I said, Marie, the problem people have with you is you being an attention-seeking, petty, and immature woman. Mm-hmm. You're going through all these changes and all this. And she says, well, how can I can't control my emotions. I can't control how I feel. Yes, you can. Yeah, you can.
Yes, you can.
Absolutely. Let me go over here and see what people are saying in the comments, because it's on fire.
Yeah.
You control you can't. You may not control how you feel. You're going to feel how you feel, but what you control is how you react to what you feel.
You can't control what other people do. What you can control is your response to what they do. That's what you can control.
Right.
Monique King. Oh, that's the Sosa at Monique King. If you have time, please join me in 2.15 hours on the LP Network. JR.
Right. Okay. Now, is that on the Sosa? Is that on YouTube? Is that something I can join you on too, or is that just for Monique? What's going on?
Where's my invite? I'm your YouTube hubby. That's what I have an invite.
Yeah, no, you YouTube 20 years the boyfriend. Yeah. You ain't gave her no ring yet, so you can't possibly be the hubby.
Yeah, she mad at me because the ring on layaway. I didn't buy it outright. Yeah.
Guys, get those likes up too, please. If you're in here in the chat, go ahead and hit that like button.
Yes.
Yeah, no worries about the spelling. Definitely check it out. It's worth watching.
Exactly.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And let's see, continuing on down here.
Yes. Keep on going. Keep it coming.
Right. Oh, let's read that one. one.
Yeah, Jay says, great advice, Alex. Stay focused on the task at hand. Exactly.
And this one.
Yeah, high five. All right, Pastor Alex, you preaching now.
But I'll read this one. Letitia imploded at her own event. How tacky. That's right. Roro. Yeah, right. Roro. That's for real.
Right.
That's for real.
Because that's not displaying the strong leadership they need. It's your event. You have to display strong leadership. I'm not saying crying is weak and all that kind of stuff, but at that particular venue, you can't cry there. You got to hold that stuff in and go home and let it out, but not there.
Yeah, and like you said, it's not so much the crying. You talking about Letitia, I think? Are you saying
Yeah.
about Letitia?
Mm-hmm.
It's the fact that she got up, what led to the crying, which is before that, all the action before that, which was just getting up from the table, leaving all of your guests to go take care of one person.
And that's why
If that person had a physical injury, you know what I'm saying, and they needed CPR, fine. But other than that, no. She's
and,
just being in her feelings. Let her go.
and that's why I say you could feel for her, but she brought it on herself. She really did.
Right, right, right. So we'll move forward, and then okay, the next note.
Okay. Oh, we just addressed this, didn't we? Akeisha, maybe. Oh, here we go.
Talking about her, Letitia's planning, execution, and accountability. What are your thoughts? Where do you see that maybe her planning and execution? Where did it fall down? Was it the dirty plate? Was it the burnt food? What was it? Was it the game that she had the women to play when she knew that there were people in the room that didn't really get along with one another?
I think she rushed it. I think she just wanted to have this brunch. I think her heart was in the right place, but the planning and execution stunk. I think she went off emotion and feeling that she felt it and she wanted to run with it. But I think if you're going to have something like that, it's going to take a little bit of more planning and execution to pull that off. Because you got to be selective, first of all, on who you invite. You have to understand your friend's mental state. Okay, if I knew my friend was having mental and emotional breakdowns, if they was always having meltdowns, I wouldn't invite them. Out of love for themselves and for me, I wouldn't want my friend embarrassed in front of all those people. Okay, and then you have to be strategic in who you sit next to. The seating is important. I mean, it's a lot that goes into this. Should you have a staff or should you not have a staff? Do you go in ahead of time and make sure the plates are clean? Make sure the food is not overcooked. I think she rushed it. And I think because she rushed it, she wanted to have it so bad, she wanted to rush it and get Akeisha there, Akila there. I always mispronounce the woman's name. Help me, Lord.
I'm trying to remember if it was Bon. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. Now I'll hold that comment. Go ahead.
No, I keep butchering the woman's name, the bougie one, Akeisha.
Akeisha.
Yeah. She seemed to be the main focus because she always ranting about her family was so huge in the area and Ferris Street, and if nobody can bring back Ferris Street, she can. If anybody can, and this kind of thing, and she's the one you want to focus on because right now she's blowing a lot of smoke, and she's going to have to cash in. Otherwise, she's setting herself up to be talked about and ridiculed down the road if she can't pull some of this stuff she ranting about off.
Right. Yeah. I was gonna say, I don't know if it was one of my favorite YouTubers, Bonde Blue, that said this, gave this suggestion, and it's after the fact, of course, now, but I thought it was good where she said that maybe if they had the event, and I said, wow, this makes so much sense. If they had the event at the venue, the 5-star lodge that is owned by Latrice, and then had people come in and serve them, that would have taken a lot of pressure off Letitia. It would have been elegant, and it would have been one Black businesswoman supporting another Black businesswoman.
There you go. I
like that. I really like that idea. Guys, what do you think about that?
And this is why I was rushed, because had she sat back and thought about it, she may have done what you just suggested.
Yeah, it felt rushed. I mean, in the food that we saw, I don't know if you caught it, but the food that Akeisha showed to the camera, I
saw the burnt waffles. Yeah, I saw the burnt
waffles. It was burnt, and the plate. But I've had that happen. Now, the thing I don't agree with Akeisha about, and that's why I say she's being overly bougie, is that we've all been to banquets and places, and the plate has been dirty. You even been in a restaurant sometimes, and you'll be served on a not so clean plate, and that's because the food sticks to it, right?
Right.
And we know they're putting it in the dishwasher. Most times they're not washing it by hand, whatever. Only thing you do is if you're being served, you could tell the server, about it. And if you're at a banquet, most people would just go and put that plate to the side and pick the next clean plate up. Like, what's the big deal?
Right. Well, I think she just wanted to make a scene about, I don't do this. Where they do that at? I don't eat on dirty plates. Nobody eats on dirty plates. You think you're the only one that don't like to eat on dirty plates? Nobody does.
Right.
So
right. Oh, I don't. I don't know about the rest of you heifers, but I
Right.
don't.
I don't. Like everybody else go home and eat off dirty dishes, you know.
Right, right,
So
right.
so the over response to that is a little bit over the top. So, yeah.
We're gonna have to sing "Happy Birthday" too at the end of this taping, because we got two birthdays. We got one that we just missed it, so we got to say happy birthday. Sing "Happy Birthday" for her,
Yeah,
and "Happy Birthday" for Roro and Jay.
I got a special song for them. I'm gonna sing for them. Yeah. And the song was mentioned in the chat, so I'm gonna sing that to them.
Oh, I'm not sure, DeSosa. The manosphere is not my thing. I'm not sure what you mean by that, DeSosa. Could you break that down a little bit more for me?
Yes.
I'm not really sure what you mean, but
The manosphere.
I'm just calling it like I see it. The women need to, just like we will often say with men, the term, the phrase "man up." Everybody on these scenes are adults. These people are 40 plus, 30, 35, 38 plus. Okay. They're all well grown, middle aged people. I'm just saying woman up
Accomplished.
because
You know?
yeah. But you can't tell by the way they're moving though.
Right.
So
Exactly.
I'm not sure if you're talking about that, but explain it to me in the comments. I'm interested. I want to hear what you have to say.
Mm-hmm.
Roro says, did Letitia really think that Marie would say something positive about Latrice?
I don't see how she would think that.
Yeah, and that was to your point, that to Roro's point, that was the game. And that was the other thing. Like I said, in the execution at that event, how would you have a game and the first name you call is Latrice, and you know that your friend, your so-called best friend or close friend, does not like this lady, thinks that this lady tried to destroy her business and her life and her livelihood. So
yeah, it's like a setup, being put on the spot.
It's a setup. It's definitely a setup. Letitia seems to be trying to social climb. She's going to have to be on point because people like Akeisha will spread rumors about. Oh, you mean not Lakeisha? Well,
No,
Lakeisha.
Akeisha.
Lakeisha, no. But she says here Letitia, but I get it. Lakeisha, yeah, Lakeisha, yeah, Lakeisha. Yes, I that's it. High vibe. I agree with you. Lakeisha is on her way up. She's trying to build. She's trying to establish herself. And then Akeisha, what do you think about this? Do you feel like Akeisha is trying to also be the leader of this whole Ferris Street thing? And maybe that's part of the reason why she was so eager to find fault with every little thing.
Yeah, that's why I
kind of do.
Yeah, I do too. That's why she was so quick to start saying, how great her family has been in the area and what's named after her grandfather and what they did, and this cousin did this, or this uncle did that, and she's letting everybody know she has the lineage to get the job done. That's why she was very blatant to say, if I can't bring Ferris Street back, no one can. She said that.
Oh, okay. Can you read this? What Jay has to say? Her comment.
Yeah, Jay says, well, the owners of the building they use in guessing is black and black people. Akeisha going to dinner with later, according to her.
Oh yeah, she was going to dinner with them. Okay.
Okay.
I didn't know that. I didn't know if that building. It's very possible. That's a good point. We don't know. Jay doesn't want us to sing happy birthday. Okay, no problem. We'll sing it to Roro. Roro, is that okay with you? I didn't even think to ask. That's a very good point because everybody doesn't celebrate birthdays and different things. And plus, Alex's singing is horrible anyway.
No, it ain't.
That's probably why Jay said it. No, it's not. It's not.
Esther says, I think she wants to embarrass Latrice.
Yeah. I got that feeling about Akeisha too. I definitely do. Ellen says subscribe to Alex's YouTube channel. He's a magnetic repellent, and there's the all the information there, and also it'll be in the description for those who catch this on the replay or watch it again. It'll be in the description, and you'll be able to check it out. Alex, you just got your banner up, I think, right?
Yeah, I put my banner up last night when I got back home in town. I put my banner up. Yep.
Awesome.
So go check it out.
Yep, awesome. What's Ellen V saying there?
Ellen V said it's going to be a power struggle for Ferris Street. Apparently. Yeah.
Oh, I got you. Okay, DeSosa. Okay, I see now. She's saying the channel I was asking Monique to join me in later is the Manosphere.
Oh, Manosphere. Okay.
Gotcha.
It must be a lot of estrogen in the room.
That's not what
I
manosphere
mean
means.
testosterone. Sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go. There you
Yeah.
go. There you go.
Testosterone is wrong.
Right, right, right. Okay, so we covered that one. We're gonna move on to the next note card. Mm,
Letitia may have good okay, here we go. Yeah, next scene.
you go ahead and read it.
Okay. Latrice and her hubby, Cliff, invite Sophia and so Gucci. That name kills me. So Gucci and JJ Williams for a meetup on the 300 acres, 5-star lodge to go ATVing and relax with coffee. Plus, they discuss the brunch and maybe baby. Yeah, they had fun splashing mud on each other. I mean, so,
I thought
these,
it looked fun. I mean, it
yeah,
did.
it did look fun with the little buggies splashing the blood and turning it around and everything.
And so Gucci was smart because she brought her goggles, so she made sure she didn't get nothing in her eyes and on her eyelashes. She was smart. She came prepared. And then when her husband whipped out his little head scarf thing, I was like,
Right.
he ready
He
now.
ready. He ready. You know what I mean? Because they look rough and rugged. They don't play. They look rough and rugged. So Gucci
Right.
and JJ, you know,
But the big part of this scene was really when they got inside and they sat down to have the hot chocolate plus the adult beverage that they added to the hot chocolate, right?
right. Mm-hmm.
And they got to talking about discussing the brunch, which we pretty much already covered. The men wanted to know. JJ wanted to know what caused this disturbance, and she told him. But then they got to discussing that Cliff wants to have a baby.
Yeah. He stay on this subject. He won't let it go.
Right. Why do you think why does he want to have a baby after having had 5 children already with his previous relationship?
He wants to claim her in that regard. He wants
But
something
he's
with her.
already married to her. Isn't
No,
that isn't
no,
that
no,
already
no,
a
no,
claim?
no. He wants something to always say he has claims on her that no other man has done. He's the first to give her a child. He's the first to be able to say that's my child with my wife to her. So regardless of what
Mm,
happens after this, he always has that claim to fame. No,
mm,
he wants that thing that's gonna hold her because the man has 5 children. You think he would be okay? He said, "I don't need any more children. I'm good." And you think as a young woman, she would say, "I want children. I'm young. I'm fertile. I want children." She's not saying that, and I don't know why these weren't discussions before you got married. Was this ever discussed, or you just saw something you wanted and married it? I don't understand. So why
oh,
is this why are they at such an impasse now about this thing?
mm.
That's his ego,
Well,
though. That's his
well,
ego.
yeah, that's his ego. And then I'm wondering what was the conversation they had before they got married because, they've been together for a long time. What was the discussion about having children? Like, most of the time if you're planning to get married, you talk about your major things, which will be having children. What are your goals? What are you going to do when you retire? Where do you want to live? Do you always want to stay in the same city, same state? You have thoughts about moving overseas? Do you have thoughts about moving to the next state? Do you want to, who's going to take care of their parents when they get older and sick? All types of things that you should be talking about before you get married. And certainly having a baby is a major one because, like you said, even though it's a really they're diametrically opposed opposites in my mind anyways. By the time you've had 5 kids, to me you've done your job in procreating. But
Right.
on the other side, she's, like you said, young and presumably fertile,
Mm,
and does not have any children. So
yeah.
but we find out later, we'll get to that too, we'll talk about that. We find out later there's a lot of personal reasons that she has for not wanting to have children right now.
Yeah. But for Cliff, he's a guy, he wants to control her. He wants to be able to say she's home with the children. And so she don't have these entrepreneurial aspirations. Every time she wants to go out somewhere, they look, old school guys, a real woman know how to keep her behind home with the children. A real woman know how to stay home and cook. You know, he's an old school guy, but he don't have an old fashioned woman. That's not what he got. And
Mm,
a lot of people, Aubrey, this is what a lot of people do. You
mhm,
can tell them in the beginning,
mhm,
I don't want this, I don't like that. That this is
mhm.
possible, this is not possible. Whatever you tell them in the beginning, they'll go, because they want what they want, and you look good, you smell good, you in great shape and all this stuff. Okay, I can deal with that.
Thank you. I
But
appreciate
but
that compliment, Alex.
but as the relationship goes on, it's funny. But as the relationship goes on, they will methodically try to convince you and coerce you to change your mind and come off of what you intentionally said you would do or would not do.
Yeah.
That's
Now
what they
what?
hope. That's what they hope for.
That's the hope. What's Jay saying out there on the screen?
Jay is saying he's not trying to claim, he's trying to kick her down. Wow.
Okay. And what's Kirby saying?
Cliff Cliff just wants to use the baby as a way of controlling her. Yes.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And even Esther, what's Esther saying?
It's called control. Like
Everybody, three out of three, right there, all in a row. I didn't just pick those out randomly; they were all bunched together. I think everybody sees what Cliff's real reason is. It's not like he wants to have a baby out of love. Not saying that he doesn't love Latrice, because I think in his own controlling way he probably does love her, but I don't know how good a controlling love is.
No.
But yeah, but he really just wants to have that baby. Like another round said, he wants to kick her down. He wants to take the wind out of her sail. He wants to take the speed in which she's her trajectory, because she's shooting straight up like a rocket, and he wants to stop all that. He wants to circumvent all of that.
Yeah, he wants her to be what he wants her to be and not what she wants her to be, which to me is very selfish.
And what's Roro saying here?
Roro saying high vibe. JJ has those struggling braids since he was on Bring It.
Yeah, he was on another show. He was on another reality show before this one.
Oh, okay. High vibe is saying how tragic. Roro, I guess about them braids.
Yeah. I don't know why men try to hang on to them little slivers of hair. It's like the Caucasian dudes with the comb over. Just let it go. Let it go.
Yeah. You know, and High Vibe said he's gonna let her have the baby and then guilt trip her about her ambition. That's what he's going to do.
Oh, okay. And what Kirby, why are you saying she should never have kids with Cliff?
Because it's a trap.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm just saying, but hold on to finish my statement. But what about if she doesn't have the baby right now, but she's still young? Let's say maybe 3 years from now, she decides to have a baby with her husband. They're still together. Then she decides to have a baby. She sets out and makes a plan. What about then? Why do you say she should never have a husband, never have a baby with her husband? I just want to understand that.
Well, that's why, because it's a trap.
And you think even years down the road, it'll still be the same type of energy?
Yeah, think about this, right? He's considerably older than her. He's like retired. I'm not sure if he's totally retired yet, but he's made a substantial amount of money. He's sitting back, he's chilling. His kids are grown. Right. Okay, so let's say she still has her entrepreneurial ambitions, and she has a baby. And let's say, oh, babe, your kids are grown. You're not as busy as you used to be. Well, you keep the baby. I got to go to a meeting. And you keep the baby. I got to take a trip out of town. Is he going to want to do that? No. He's going to want her to stay home, even though he's not doing anything. He's going to want her to stay home with the baby. So I already see that coming. I see it a mile away.
Yeah, it does seem to be the setup for the overlay, for the overplay.
Sure is.
Well, we see that Tamara meets up with Akeisha at the juice bar to discuss the ratchet brunch. Akeisha has 101 complaints, and a man ain't one of them. The dirty plate conspiracy, plate gate, the food, and the leadership of the brunch.
Plate gate. That's funny.
Yeah, I mean, Akeisha, once again, she's just like, she is really uppity and bougie and looking down her nose at everybody, and that's a little off-putting. When you see that, that's a little off-putting for somebody to just be looking down their nose at somebody. I mean, like I said, everybody has picked up a dirty plate at a banquet hall. I mean, I think just about everybody. Haven't you done it?
I have.
You picked up a plate, and what did you do? You just set it to the side.
Put it down.
Right, put it down. Right, that's kind of normal. Like, really, like, where are your social skills for you to be so gentrified? And like, I'm sure you belong to somebody's sorority and all that kind of stuff. But what
It's
Like,
interesting because anytime I
wow.
go to a dine-in restaurant or a diner or someplace where I eat in, when I
Hmm.
order my food, they bring the silverware is there and so forth. I always ask them, bring me a hot cup of water. Always. And I soak my silverware all the time. That's what I do. Okay. And so, I mean, if you're having issues, if something in your mind is a mental block that your silverware may be dirty or your dishes may be dirty or whatever, there are things you can do to circumvent that, you know. But don't just sit around and look for stuff to complain about to ruin somebody's event. And that's like what she was doing, looking for stuff to complain about.
Right, right, right. You say so. You say every time you go out, you ask for a cup of hot
Hot
water.
water to bring
Really?
for the waiter or waitress to bring me a cup of hot water to the table, and I'll soak my
Hmm.
utensils in that hot water, and I'll let it sit there until my food comes.
Really? What
Then
is
I'll
that
take
supposed? What is that
it's
supposed to do? Is that
sterilization.
it has,
Sterilization.
but it has no bleach in it.
Don't have to have bleach. Hot water will kill anything. It's hot enough.
Hmm.
Don't have to have bleach in it. Just has to be hot. And then you take your napkin, and take your spoon and knife and fork out of that hot water. You wipe it off. It's just a practice that I have.
You're weird.
Yeah.
You are weird.
you,
I don't know.
you're
You're
gonna
weird.
find yourself doing it. What?
Yeah, I was thinking about it. I was thinking about it. But
Oh my
yeah, so
goodness.
I mean, the whole Playgate thing, the food being burnt, which again, I think the food could have been better too, and the leadership. The leadership was whoa, I don't know what's going on here, but
And yeah, and then they digressed and kind of got on Greedy or Demand, whatever his name is. They kind of
mm-hmm,
digressed and got on that and her relationship with him and I
mm-hmm.
mean Akeisha did have a point.
What's
16
that?
years off and on with the same dude is a long time at their age without a ring. That's a long
I was
time.
yeah, I was like, what? Like, like you and DeSosa, y'all gonna do that 20 years of girlfriend thing. If she
Yeah.
does, I just don't get it. You can't get more than a year with me. I don't get it.
16 years is a long.
Mm,
Ooh, that's long. My
mm-mm.
goodness.
These women, they just waste their youth and beauty on these guys.
Not
I
to
don't
mention the
get
fact that he cheating.
it. Well, yeah, yeah, that's what they're saying. That's what they're saying. Damon is greedy. He is greedy. That's his nickname and that's his behavior. He just
Right.
greedy.
And I'll say this too about the young lady. What's her name? Tambra, right?
Tamra,
That
yeah.
she had on too much makeup to me, too much foundation, whatever. She
Oh,
almost looked like
okay.
a mannequin. She don't need all of that stuff on.
Yeah, she's a beautiful woman.
Yeah, she don't need that stuff like that.
I agree with you. I don't know if it's sometimes if it's their makeup artist or they have to do that for the camera. I don't know, but yeah, and I think sometimes when it's so heavily laid on, it actually ages them.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly
it,
right.
it actually makes them look older because I think she's a very beautiful woman. I don't think she needs very much makeup, but I know from working in front of cameras though, oftentimes there is sometimes a requirement, or you're working for a client, whoever produces this show, they may want her to look more put together.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
And that means putting on all the extra rouge and the foundation and actually having it layered on, as opposed to casually a woman might just go out with some lipstick, a little eyeliner, a little mascara, maybe some lashes, and that's about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Um, Roro says Cliff wants to. Oh, I'm sorry. I went backwards. I'm sorry. I don't know how I did that.
But I haven't seen that comment. Cliff wants to slow it down while she's young. And
Oh, you
and
hadn't seen that. Let me go.
yeah,
Okay, so
yeah.
maybe I
It-
wasn't too far. Oh, right.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, right here. You're right. You're right.
Mhm.
Go ahead. You can go ahead and read it.
Yeah, Cliff wants to slow her down while she's young after he's had his fun and now he's older.
I like the way she says older.
Older. Looks like the old Budweiser commercials. Budweiser with the
Oh, right.
frogs.
Read this one. Read this comment.
Yeah, LMV, Alex, we do that too. Hot water. Exactly. It's more common than you think, Aubrey.
Really?
Yeah, it's
Now,
more common than you
that's
think.
funny because when you first said about the hot water, I've seen people at restaurants, and a friend taught me this. I don't do it all the time now, but back when we were, young and broke, he would have them bring out the hot water and the lemon, and he would make like lemonade and tea or something like that. He would just
Mm.
make up this beverage, so you didn't have to pay $3, $4, $5 on the menu for a beverage. You'd actually have a beverage.
Right. Yeah. That's a slick one.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But it's
Um,
more common than people may think.
okay, wait a minute. No disrespect to the sit, but Akeisha is a big fish in Jackson. Let her go to a big city acting like, oh yeah,
Mm.
exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
I think that's probably why she came back home with her tail between her legs from New York, right?
Yeah.
Was it New York or New Jersey where she said she was living with her husband?
Yeah. I mean, a place like New York for a Southern person or whatever, New York can eat you alive. I mean, it's the nature of the beast. They'll eat you
Mm.
alive. You
Read
know.
read what LMV says too on this
LV says
continuing silverware issue that we now have created.
the LV says sometimes we ask for plasticware. I mean, yeah.
And what about this one?
Jay says that water not
The
hot
water's
enough. You're
not
multiplying
hot
the
enough.
bacteria with some sanitation. I mean,
Mm,
I don't
see
know.
there.
I guess it's mental with me.
By the time it reaches your table, it's okay. She wrote it again. Okay,
It's just
yeah.
multiplying the bacteria. Yeah.
Right,
Okay.
right, right. Hey, Chef Don Don. He's laughing about something. Hey there, Chef Don
Dandara.
Don. When you coming up and joining me? Okay, when you coming up and being a co-host? Okay.
Bring me a couple of cheeseburgers with onions and
Mm-hmm.
mushroom.
Yeah, Chef Don Don, he is so hilarious. I love his channel. Okay, so we'll move on back to the notes and wrap this up here.
Yeah, with
Got
the
a little,
leadership. 101
got a
complaints
little,
with leadership.
note for the. What you wanted to say something about leadership or no?
No, we tackled that already.
Right, right, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, but so yeah, to finish up with these two ladies though, I thought it was really an endearing moment as we move past all the superfluous, frivolous stuff. Um, when Akeisha starts talking about her own fertility issues that her and her husband have faced and how she sought treatment and after rounds of IVF, and I think this other one is called IUI, which I'm not very familiar with. I'm more familiar with IVF. But she went through all these different things and still no baby. And then finally, on her own, her and her husband on their own, they were able to naturally conceive, and she was able to have two children with her husband.
Isn't that something? After
Hmm.
all of that,
Yeah,
wow.
but I feel like in my thought, and it's just my thought process. I feel like all of that helped her because there are some women that different things go on with different women with our bodies, and sometimes it's the fertility issues with the man too, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
But different things go on, and I feel like having the treatment and having the hormones, it may have reset her, if that makes sense. That's just my thought. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a medical professional, but that's just my thought. So I think that all the things that she did, it all worked for the good in any case. So she got her two babies, and it was inspiring for Tamra because Tamra begins to discuss how she's been dealing with fibroids, which is something I personally can relate to.
Yeah.
A lot of women deal with fibroids in their reproductive years, and it can be very debilitating, and it can prevent you from having a baby, from getting pregnant. And sometimes you can get pregnant with it and then have a miscarriage because the fibroid grows so big it overtakes the baby.
Right,
You
exactly.
know,
Yeah, and she
and
she she said at one point she had 39
mhm.
fibroids removed. That's
Wow,
that's a lot of
yeah,
fibroids.
yeah, yeah. But a lot of women have that many, like, because ultimately, even when they do the ultrasounds, I've had the what is that thing when you go in the tunnel? Why can't I think of it right now?
Oh,
Not
you
the
talk, yeah,
you go in a tube. You go in a tube, and
yeah,
they
yeah,
give you
yeah, yeah.
the
The
what is,
X-ray, but there's a
no, it's
name
not a,
for it.
it's right, yeah,
It's
but
sort of like
it's
an X-ray, but yeah, it's another name for. I
okay, but
forgot.
anyway, yeah, that gives you more details, and yeah, you can have quite a few of them, and then even with that being the most accurate, oftentimes if you have a lot of fibroids, the fibroids are hiding under the other fibroids or organs in your body, so it's
Mm-hmm.
wild and crazy. and
Yeah,
can just be
yeah.
a big old mess. Let me get over here to the
And,
comment section and see what people
and
are
I'm not
saying.
sure if that's a typo or whatever, but you're
Mhm.
referring to a boyfriend, but it's accurate. And demon
Well,
and demon.
once again, wink, wink. I ran out of space. Yes, I was gonna say and Demond, the whole issue with
Probably
Demond.
accurate.
Yeah, I mean, this guy, he don't really want her. He don't really want her. I mean, one or the other. Either he don't really want her and he don't want to settle down. I don't know if he's ever been married. They're both probably 40 plus. I got a
Mm,
thing about, you get to 40 plus, you haven't been married. What's really going on? You don't really
mm.
want to be married if you're a man, because as a man, you have way more options than women do, because just once again, just look at the numbers, right?
Right, right. Yep.
It's like common sense. Common sense. Look at the numbers.
Hmm.
But we'll go with here. We'll start here. Roro says Tambra has some insecurities about her appearance. You think so, Roro? I think she's
Mm.
very pretty. I mean, I think she's also very petite. But what could she possibly? I don't know. I think she's
I don't know.
gorgeous.
She had too
But
much
you know,
makeup on, so I don't
but
know.
but you know what? That could be possible. That could be possible, because just because
Mm.
I think she's gorgeous, she's got to think it, right?
Right, she got to believe that.
And Ellen V says, yeah, she's made that light lemonade before. I know that's right. Hey, that freebie restaurant lemonade, instead of paying $6 for theirs, right?
Y'all got every scam going. I tell you the truth.
It is not a scam. We just asking for
Whatever.
like a little bit of lemon, a little bit of water. Those things are free. Why you trying to hate while you over there trying to multiply the bacteria on your silverware?
Yeah, what Jay says, if you add what's that,
Oh, wait
lemon
a
or
minute.
vinegar,
Huh?
it may help kill some of the bacteria or acid, and kill off some bacteria. You
Oh,
know,
there you go.
yeah,
There you
add
go.
lemon or
See,
vinegar.
you need to evolve your hot water game.
And we'll
Now,
see.
Ellen V says fried chicken. That fried chicken looked so good last night. What fried chicken, girl?
Fried chicken. Where you have fried chicken at? That I didn't
I
see.
know. Right. I want some. You making me hungry. I haven't had my dinner yet. The Miss Creative. Hey there. Hey there. Welcome in. Welcome in, girl.
Mm.
Let's see. Just a few more high. Thank you. Somebody finally told. There you go. High
Yeah,
Vibe knows what I'm
MRI.
talking about. It's an MRI.
MRI.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
had the MRI scan, and oh my God, we didn't even talk about how many fibroids I had. Oh my
Mm.
goodness.
Yeah.
Yuck. Yeah, just so much going on there in the woman's body. We go through so much trying to get these babies here.
Right.
read
And she go demon.
that while I crack up laughing.
Yeah. High Vibe said demon don't want her, and I don't think she really wants kids. She just doesn't have a sense of urgency or really emotion about the situation.
That's interesting. That
Mm.
is interesting, because I also see that there's some kind of fear, because after she had the first surgery, what the thing is, most doctors will tell you, if you have fibroids, it means that you're more than likely, for a lot of women, fibroid prone. And once they remove them, they tell you to wait until you're ready to have the child, have children, or start trying to have children, have them removed, and then immediately, like maybe a couple months for healing. Immediately after that, you start having babies. But this whole thing of her and Damon have never had sex without unprotected sex. That's crazy. If you were
Mm.
trying to have children, why do you wait till you're 40 plus to try to have children? I just don't get the logic behind a lot of these women today.
Right,
I
right.
really, really
Yeah,
don't. I'm
yeah,
sorry, but I
yeah.
don't get it. I mean, unless you just never had an opportunity to get married, and for her saying that those two were a whole item for like 14, 16 years, like, I'm not gonna be an item with anybody for that long. He ain't my husband.
Mm.
We're living in the same house, got the same last name, and I got a ring on it. I'm not being with anybody for that long. That's just stupid to me.
But they've been apparently off and on, off and on, off and on.
I'm
So
not doing off and
yeah,
on. I don't play that
yeah,
game either. That's a game
yeah,
for losers. You ask
yeah.
me, that's a game
We
for
pretty.
losers.
Yeah,
We get off one time, we probably won't get on. If we manage to get on for a second time, you
mm.
better take good advantage of it, because it ain't happening no third time. I'm
Yeah.
serious. That's just how I
Mm.
work. Women have to be more logical. I'm serious, because men are out here. We all know men are out here playing, running games, right? Why are
Mhm.
you sitting around going back and forth with the same dude? Is Jackson, Mississippi only got one black man in it that's single?
Our love goes back and forth and forth.
I mean, seriously, is it the only dude that's single and available? I mean, for real? Like that
It's,
one dude?
it's, it's
Like really?
crazy.
You gonna keep recycling him? I
Mm,
don't know.
yeah, bro.
Y'all a mess. Kirby, we know what Janice would say about 10 years of girlfriend, don't we? We know what Janice
Yeah,
Hilton would say.
10 years
I
of
know.
girlfriend.
I know that's right. Absolutely.
Wearing a shut up engagement ring.
Exactly. Well, I don't even think this thing about it. She don't even have no jewelry. I mean, at
Mm,
least appease her with some jewelry, but he looks like he's too laid back for that.
yeah.
And on some more somber notes and moments, Marie has to attend her young Raven, 18 years old. This young lady was unalived, and she has to attend her funeral because this is the mother, the late mother of her little grandbaby, her little 2-year-old grandbaby that was mercifully not unalived in that whole horrific uh, shooting. Um, and after that, her lupus flares up from the stress of all the stress that she's got on her between her trifling husband, trifling son, and a
Mhm.
mother that's addicted and in and out of recovery, in and out, back and forth, right?
Yeah.
Essie comes to visit to check on her friend, and the two women are bonding. What is your take on this situation?
Yeah, I mean the lupus flare, I can understand that because the funeral stress does crazy things to a body, you know. And of course, the funeral, burying this young lady who had a whole life ahead of her, very stressful. Her child will never know her. Marie has taken on the responsibility, stepping ahead of her son to raise this child, and it's just very stressful. And she had a flare up, but you can't fault her for that. She deals with this illness all the time. Different things will cause it to flare up. um, so I get it, but there are other things that Marie was discussing in this scene that she got to be better at her decision making. This stuff with her husband,
The cheating husband, the
yeah,
lackluster
the cheating
son.
husband, what's his name, Clifton, I forgot his name. No,
No,
is
he no, that's not Glenn. It's not
Cedric,
Cliff. Yeah,
Cedric,
Cedric. That's it. Cedric.
Cedric,
Yep.
right?
Thank you, Cedric.
this
Yep.
this dude here apparently is just a hot mess. Okay, and he's showing her consistently cheating for one, right? And he's showing her no faithfulness, no support, no anything. Okay, and she's sitting here talking about she promised him a Rolex watch because she want to keep her word because she told him she would get him one as she ascended in her
What?
career. And as he
Wow.
said, where's his promise to you that he'll
She
be
just
there and be faithful and be committed? Are you
right, right.
serious?
You know, the thing that comes up as I was writing this note was I recognized that, Marie uses money a lot. She uses money a lot to take away where there should be conversation, where there should be edification, where there should be guidance and instructing or counseling. She seems to use her money and her wealth to like almost buy herself out of these situations and to buy love. And I wonder again, I just still go back to her childhood. I feel like, she probably had a dad who was throwing money at it. And I don't mean to be disrespectful. I'm not saying that he was a bad person because I think he probably meant well, but a lot of times men don't know how to connect because quite frankly, you guys aren't socialized to know how to connect. You aren't socialized to deal with your emotions. That's why a lot of times some men have emotional problems because they don't know how to deal with emotions. So he really didn't have the tools to help raise a daughter or any child for that matter all by himself. And I just see her like just taking her money and using that to fix problems and resolve problems that aren't fixable with just money.
Yeah, a lot of people that are well off, they do that. They throw money at problems. They throw money at
Yep.
situations to
Yeah,
hope
but
to
here's
fix it.
right, but here's a person that came from humble beginnings. I could see
Mm,
that if you came out of wealth, that's your solution because that's all you saw. But she came out of humble beginnings. Like all of these women have said, they come out of humble beginnings. So
mhm.
I would think that you'd have a little more fixer solution, how to get to a resolution emotionally. There's things that she could do for her son, the husband. Is it time for a divorce now or what?
There's been time for that.
You
The, the
know.
the question is, she can
hmm
throw money at situations. She can put more and more things on her shoulder. The question she has to ask herself is, how's it working for you? How's it working for you? If it's not working, you got to change some things because clearly what you're doing
Ooh,
is not working. It's just
right.
not.
Yeah, I got the answer to my question. I couldn't figure out where the fried chicken was at. Apparently, it was on Chef Don Don's Patreon.
Oh,
Go
okay,
on,
okay.
Chef Don Don, knock it out, man. You got a Patreon and you got fried chicken on there. I'm gonna have to get there soon. Uh
Mm,
oh. Uh oh.
yeah.
uh. Oh, wait a minute. Is Monique okay? She says she's frying something right now in her grapeseed oil.
Wow.
Oh, it better be good. Okay, are you? I got a question. Monique, are you using that air fryer? Are you using your air fryer to fry that? That sounds interesting.
I heard that fries good chicken too. I've never used an air fryer.
I have not either. I have not
Mm,
tried one out either. I saw one the other day at one of the big box stores and I started to get it too.
mm.
Um, Roro wants
Roro,
to go
maybe she's
ahead.
not. Maybe she's not confident in herself. Why would Tamara put up with a 16 years of girlfriend if she was confident in herself? Because she's not. It's
Yeah,
obvious.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, and I think too, I really believe some of these modern women today like to put on a show for their family, maybe their mother, their parents, who are asking them, when are you going to have my grandchild? When are you going to have my grandchild? I think some of these modern women, rather than just be honest and tell their parents and their family and friends and coworkers that they're not planning on getting married, they don't want to be married, they don't want to have children. I think sometimes they front. That's just my
Yeah.
thought.
And back to Marie and her situations, and
Hmm.
even with her mother, we know Cedric. He do what he do. He's a bum. His according to you, even his sexuality may even be in question. Maybe okay.
Mhm.
His sexual preferences may be in question. Okay. But
Both
even with
their
her,
both their sexual preference
both their
allegedly.
sexual right, that's true. But even with her mother, okay, you gotta listen. That's your mother. She brought you in the world. Whatever. You've done all you can do. Leave her to the streets and wait for that phone call that she's out of her misery. It sounds harsh, but that's what you have to do.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
What were you saying? Because High
I'm
Vibe said the two women. I think she's talking about. I believe she's talking about
Essie and
Essie
Marie.
Mae,
It looked like
Essie
pillow
and
talk.
Marie.
They ain't fooling nobody. That's pillow talk. Listen, listen. It looks very suspect. It really does. Like
It
we mentioned
does.
earlier,
I
it
don't
may
have no problem with a woman having a close female friend, having a girlfriend, a sister friend, or whatever. Because I've had one for most of my life. But I'm gonna tell you, ain't nothing she could do for me but be my friend, though.
yeah,
Mm-mm.
because they may be either lickety split already, or Essie
Allegedly.
allegedly, or Essie waiting for her moment. She,
Oh, now you know what? Kirby has a different insight into it. I never thought of that. Could you read that for me?
all right, Kirby, when you are going through all that lupus, taking care of your son and grandchild, cheating husband, you should not even be on the show. Yeah, that's
Mm,
true.
that's a thought. That's
That's
a
just more
thought.
stress. Being on the show is more stress because them
It,
we know them shooting days can be long.
oh yeah. Oh, absolutely, man. You could be. They say you got to shoot, and it's something that should take a few hours, or 5 hours, 6 hours, 8 hours. You're shooting that thing for 16 hours,
Yeah, it's
maybe more.
crazy.
Yeah. So it's a lot. It's
Yeah.
definitely a lot. Oh, and High Five has a good point. The irony that she works in mental health but can't really deal with her own girl.
Mm,
High five. High five to
mm,
high vibe.
mm.
Right. Oh, Monique says she's never tried that air
Yeah,
fryer
fine,
either.
either.
If it feels
Feels like
feel
cheating.
like
Yeah, because you don't get that grease, that nice grease taste in your chicken. You know what I mean?
wait. Well,
Yeah.
look what High Vibe says though.
The air fryer is great for chicken wings. Mm.
Mm-hmm.
I'll try it one of these days. I'll try it. I'll give it a try.
Mm-hmm.
You know. And LNV says, not even a ring pop. What is that?
Well,
Oh,
first
rural,
she says read the
rural.
first one
He
out.
says
Put it back
rural, not a shut up ring, but not even that. Not even a ring pop. Nothing.
up. Oh, wait a minute. High Vibe. High Vibe. Allegedly. Nah, they
It's
scissor
scissor
sister.
sisters. I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm
We're
not
gonna
even
leave
touching.
that alone. PG-13. Oh my goodness. I don't even want to
Oh.
know what that scissor part is. But
You
I
know
just
what
and
it
then
is.
I just said that I hear at my last note. I said I hear pain, and I couldn't finish it. I hear pain. I hear
Mm.
unresolved pain is what I was trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
Really, I do. I just see. But anyway, Latrice goes and meets with her mommy and to ask her advice about Cliff wanting her to have his baby. What? What? Her
Mm.
mother claims that Cliff reminds her of Latrice's daddy.
Mm.
Mm-mm-mm.
Mm.
I
Mm.
mean, and then we get to find out. This is the scene where we get to find out all of this trauma that Latrice. It's a wonder that she gets out of bed in the morning. She is
Mm.
really, truly a testament to someone that is really focused. Talk about focus. We talked about that earlier, right?
Yeah.
Because she had her father, I guess he was incarcerated when she was young and she lost him and he was away. And then she had brothers that, with no father to really lead and guide them on how to be a man. Her older brothers that were looking out for her eventually were lost to crime. Another one, I think, lost to crime. And then what was the other one? Did he OD, I think, or something?
Yeah. Two were lost to death, and I think there was a third one that was may have been incarcerated.
Okay.
But
Okay.
but she has an issue deep down inside with abandonment, men leaving her. How long are men going to stick
Yes.
around?
Yes.
So she's having serious abandonment issues and trauma. Because her oldest brother that took over after her father left, he was unalived in the street. Shot down or whatever happened to him.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's where all this stuff kind of just is a buildup. It's a buildup. It's a buildup. And her mother's telling her, Cliff, it's just like your dad. Didn't want me to go nowhere and wanted me to stay at home. He was a very jealous man. These kind of things.
Yes.
And she see the signs based off her experiences. She see it. Okay, and she's trying to tell her, do you really want a child? If the answer is no, the answer is no. It shouldn't even be up for discussion. But again, this is somebody else with unresolved childhood trauma who really should not even be in a relationship. Honestly, you got to resolve this stuff before you start bringing other people into your life to bring you more trauma.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Mm-hmm.
that's what they do. Can you think about this? You got unresolved trauma. You bring
Mhm.
somebody into your life in an intimate relationship and they have unresolved trauma. What is that? That's a recipe for disaster. That's all that is. Okay, so we have to get our stuff straight first before we even think about being in any kind of a committed situation. They're not having the appropriate discussions. This baby
Mhm.
should have been a discussion way before they got married. Should have been a discussion up front. What are your feelings on kids?
Well, let's assume that they did have the discussion, and like you said, now it's coming back full circle. They had the discussion, and she said whatever she said. I think I'm gonna probably want to
Roro.
wait and just yeah. And let's assume that they had the discussion, and now he's saying, well, okay, we've been together now. It's been 10 years, 7 years, whatever. You said you wanted to wait. I've waited this long. I'm ready to have babies because hey, look, I'm not getting any younger. He's
Mm,
I don't know how old Cliff is. We never get a real read on, or they tell. Well, most of these shows they'll say so and so's 55 or 54 or whatever.
yeah.
I'm just gonna guess. I'm gonna put him at 50. I'm gonna be generous and say he's
Yeah,
53.
he's at least he's 50 plus because if she's 30, he said there's a 20-year difference, at
Yeah,
least
so I'm
20
gonna say
years.
53. I'm gonna say
Right,
maybe because she's 33. I'm gonna assume that he's
mm,
about 53. So,
right.
so he's still got some good years left in him. So I guess he's saying, but it's now or never because if he wants to see the kid graduate from high school at least,
Mm,
you
right.
push that out another 20 years. That takes him up to 73.
Mm. And,
You
and
know.
and for some reason he told her, don't be like Tambra. I'm not sure what he meant by
Oh,
that.
Oh, that was
You
that
know,
was cold. That was cold.
yeah.
Yeah, that was
Mhm.
cold. Well, yeah, I think that everybody and somebody pointed out, was it you, High Vibe, that said earlier on in the comments that there's no urgency with Tambra. That's the thing. We understand. At least I understand. I'm sure a lot of women understand having uterine fibroid issues,
Mm,
having gynecological issues, especially when you get into your 40s or whatever. Um, but where's the urgency though?
right.
Where's the urgency? Even when her friend Akeisha asked her, what's up with her and that guy Damon, she didn't really seem to know. She didn't really seem to have an answer. So, I mean, so are you planning on having this baby and raising this baby alone and maybe just using him as a sperm donor? I mean, if
Mm.
that was the case, you could have went to a sperm bank years
She
ago.
she seemed to think they're in a relationship. It's not
Huh?
even a sperm donor situation. Tambra thinks she's in a relationship with Damon, that
She
Damon
actually
wants her.
she
She
thinks
believes that.
that she's
She
kind of
believes that.
delusional, like a lot of
Right.
these women in these reality
Mm,
shows. She's kind of delusional. She thinks that after 16 years that he really wants you. I mean,
mm,
I've had men ask to marry me after 3 months of dating. I don't know
mm,
what's going on with her. So I
mm.
don't. I'm not waiting. I'm not waiting more than a year for the question. You
Right.
ain't posed the question. See you later.
Look, alligator.
Yeah. After a while, crocodile.
Right, exactly. That's it. So but
But
I want to make a correction to something Latrice said at the
mhm.
when they met at the Doom Buggy thing, and they was spraying mud all over each other.
Oh yeah.
And they
Mhm.
asked why couldn't her and Marie sit down and resolve the issue. And Latrice said, no matter what I do, no matter what I say, there was no revolution. No, it's resolution. It's not revolution, it's resolution. So
Mm.
she misspoke. And if you go back and watch it, she said there's
Wait a
no
minute. Say that.
revolution.
Who said that? Marie or
Latrice.
on the
Latrice said that
trees?
about her situation with Marie.
Mhm.
She said, no
Oh,
matter what I do, there's no
mhm.
revolution to the issue.
Oh, and she meant resolution. Oh
Resolution.
yeah,
Right.
absolutely,
So
absolutely.
I'm just picking with her.
Yeah. Okay, I get it. I get it. Yeah.
But but
And what
but
about?
but but Latrice
Mhm.
has a lot of issues, childhood trauma that has not been resolved, to get back to that.
It's
Um,
amazing to me how people will come on these shows and they get their checks. And I'm not knocking anybody because everybody, every woman especially wants to feel beautiful and attractive and even more attractive. But you go out, you get this plastic surgery, you get the Brazilian butt lift, or you get the boobs, you get new teeth, you get all these new things, but nobody's going to see about their inside. Like,
no.
what's up with that?
Right. And and,
What's
and
up?
and and if you don't listen to your mother knows she lived this thing.
Mm-hmm.
So if you go to her, you obviously respect her insight, you respect her
Right.
advice and things of that nature. So if you went to your mother and she's telling you this, you better
Mm-hmm.
listen, because she's lived this thing.
Right. But I thought her mother really could just be a professional counselor, because what she did was she did a very good job of saying, these are the facts, my experience with your father. Your father was like this kind of person. He was controlling. He didn't want me to go out. He didn't want me to work or go outside the house often. He tried to keep me trapped in the house. And I see these same exact signs in your husband. I see these
Right.
same exact signs. But what she did at the end, though, she basically left it up to her, and she said, "You know what? You should make the choice on how based on how you feel."
And how many times do we say that women always look for their fathers, good, bad, or indifferent, in their relationships? They always look for their fathers. They always end up with their fathers. Not always, but in a lot of cases, they end up with
Well,
their
men
fathers.
with their traits of their father. Well, I
Right.
think so, because I did that when I was dating, and I think that I still look for men to have integrity. I still look for high value men. So I don't see a problem with that. But I think what it is that maybe it took me a few years into maybe my 20s to recognize, though, too, while you looking at your father that has these great, if you had a good father like I did, that was present in the home, a provider, protector to your mother, and a good man, but you also have to recognize his flaws. And in recognizing your father's flaws, I think, or if it's a man and a woman, you can recognize your mother's flaws. And I think when you recognize your mother's flaws, your parents' flaws, I think that you can also see flaws in other people. And you can see where maybe for you, there may be some things about your parent that you idolize, but that you don't want. Like, for example, my father was very stoic. And what I found out over years of dating and being in relationship with men is that I don't need a man to be stoic with me. I need a man that can share his heart with me and be vulnerable with me. If he can't be vulnerable with me, I don't need him. I
Hmm.
don't need him. I have absolutely no use for him.
Right. And that's something you found out about yourself. Now,
Yeah.
you had a great dad. Latrice didn't, and she still went and kind of sort that out. And I'm not insulting Cliff. I'm just saying there are traits, there are character traits in Cliff that are
Hmm.
reminiscent of her father.
Right. Well, because that's the other part of that is psychologically. So what we don't resolve in childhood, we try to resolve in our adult life. So she's trying to resolve. She had a father that was this way and disappeared on her. She's trying to resolve that through this man with Cliff. That's what that is. And that's why she needs to sit down on the therapist's couch to really work that through.
And the
Because
baby's not going to resolve that.
once she works that through, no, yeah, no, it's not. No, this is an emotional work that she needs to do, not a physical work, not a baby, because a baby doesn't take the place of your insecurities. Because here's the thing too, and at the end of the day, if you're with any man, whether it's a Cliff type of guy or a regular guy, let's say it's a guy, a good guy, because I'm not saying that Cliff is not a good guy, but we see some signs in him that he's a little selfish and that he's a little controlling. But let's say you're with a great guy, the perfect guy that her mom didn't feel this way about. And her mom was even saying, oh, your husband's a great guy, have a baby. What would happen if her husband died? Right? Because he's an older guy, whatever. What if he actually just died for whatever reason, just natural causes, heart attack, stroke, whatever, right? A person that is healed understands that in any relationship, you can move forward and go on. Why? Because you're whole. When you're whole and healed, you can move forward regardless of whatever happens with your partner, whether they leave you for another woman or whether they die, because in the end, at the end of the day, relationships do end for various reasons, right? So we always have to be prepared to move forward on our own. Even if it's with the child, you can be a great single mother. Hey, you might meet a guy, 2 years from then, 3 years, whatever, and remarry, and he might be an outstanding father. But a healed person knows that they can move on. And this is the thing about it, how I know that she's not healed, because she's got so much trepidation.
Yeah.
She's got so. Let's get over here and see what in the comments what people are saying too. Go right. High Vibe says, go get your mind right. That's more important. Exactly, because it's hard raising a kid, even if you're healthy, mentally, physically. It's hard work
It's a
raising
hard
children.
job.
It's a hard job, and it's a 20+ year job at least.
And you know what else it is? It's also a thankless job. It's a thankless job.
Who you telling?
Unbelievable.
High Vibe says, I had a good father too, and I had to learn they don't make as many men like that anymore. I know that's right, girl. And these good men, they are definitely hard to find. They're hard.
They're falling by the wayside because the bar has been lowered. Women have lowered the bar.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. I don't. Okay. I'm sorry. You finished that sentence. I'm sorry. Okay. So when you say of what they will accept, yes, I agree with that statement. But here's what I'm saying about, I don't agree with the fact about the women lowering the bar in general, because here's the thing. I'm going to be a good woman regardless of what bars the men drop. Men drop the bar and they say, okay, well, I'll accept a woman this way, that way, with little standards, no standards, this thing, that thing. Guess what? Each individual, you hold yourself to a standard, right? You don't need anybody to hold you to a standard. If you're an adult person, you shouldn't need somebody to hold you to a standard. But men, oftentimes we say men when we really mean males. I hate the way people use the word females all the time, like they exchange it with women. Instead of saying women, they'll just say, well, those females.
Yeah, like the cattle.
but we never use the term. We rarely use the term males when we're really talking about these overage boys. And that's really what it is.
Right.
But we're gonna get ready to wrap it up. We've got one more thing. Where was I at here? Get back over here, because I get excited when I start talking about these males. But anyway, but talking about Akeisha and Letitia finally meet up to discuss the brunch, and we will wrap this up with these final thoughts. So what are your thoughts? Shoot.
Well, I think they were both kind of being, passive aggressive with smiles. Okay, because nothing was going to get resolved. Letitia felt the way she felt. Akeisha felt the way she felt, and neither one was going to fess up to their problem at the brunch. Okay, the place was dirty, but your attitude stunk. Okay, blah blah blah. I showed up, but I didn't feel empowered, and they're just going back and forth, and they just have to agree to disagree and let it go. That's what it has to get to. It's like they're each wanting the other one to concede and say, "Oh yeah, it's my fault. All right, I could have done better," and neither one is going to say that. Neither one. So, and that's how they ended it. I agree that your attitude was bad, and you agree that the place was dirty or whatever. And they left
But
it there.
this is the thing I got to say again. I have to come back to, if to me it falls on like the
Letitia.
Letitia. Thank you. Yeah, I'm on all
Yeah.
these loves and
Yeah.
just my God, just a regular name, folks. But
Right.
anyway, but but Letitia. My thing with Letitia was, first of all, she started the brunch off in the wrong spirit. Basically coming at old girl, coming at Akeisha. And Letitia is just like her husband. Her husband, Glenn, doesn't take accountability for being a cheat, for being a two-timer, for being disloyal, and for having a child, possibly, allegedly having a child out of wedlock 8 years ago. Nor does Letitia take responsibility.
Mm-mm.
She booked this thing. She rushed it along. Like you said, it seems very rushed. The food
Yep.
was burnt. And rather than being humble and saying, I apologize, or I'll do better next time, I'm sorry. People can understand when you just fess up and say, you know what, I made a mistake, or I'm sorry, or let me get you this plate, right? When you
Right.
try to make amends, but when you double down on your wrongness, you
Yep.
look like a fool. You look crazy.
Right. She
You
she
look
she
you look
she
very
dug
crazy.
she dug her heels in the sand, and that's the worst thing
Yeah,
you could do is dig your
yeah.
heels in.
Yeah,
You
be
know.
gracious to this lady. You know what? And I tell you what, even if you don't feel it, like they say, fake it till you make it. I would have been very gracious with her and had everybody looking at Akeisha like, "Ooh, you see how she treated her?" Because Letitia was very humble and she said, "I'm sorry. Let me get you another plate. Let me serve you this way. Let me do this. Let me do that." Everybody would have been looking at Akeisha like, I mean, they were already looking at her and seeing who she was, but it would have been even more so. But the thing that I didn't like, and I got to say this, I got to go back, the thing that I really didn't like, that I thought was one of the worst things, besides the mistake of running after her friend, all of these things, the thing that I didn't like was when she came back to the table and people were talking about that Akeisha left, she dogged that lady out in front of those other women.
Mm,
And I'm going to tell you something.
mm,
Anybody that will do that to one woman, they'll do it
mm.
to all the women there.
Right. Right. And if I was Letitia at that final brunch at the end, I would have put the ball back in Akila's court, in Akeisha's court. I would have said, listen, why don't you have a brunch? I'll come. Why don't you have something so we could discuss this Ferry Street product or project or whatever around, maybe some other women, maybe not invite some other ones, but why don't you plan a brunch and let's see how she pull it off?
There
You
you
know,
go. There you go. A challenge. A
yeah,
challenge. A
yeah.
challenge.
Let her do it.
And then maybe next time, or next time, maybe you can help me. Maybe we can co-host a brunch. How about that? But you
Right.
talk about working together with people for a common good, and yet you don't know how to work with people, because how dare you go back to the table and put that lady, talk about her behind her back? Anything you had to say about her or to her, you should have did just that. You should have been woman enough to say it about her to her face.
Well, that's what she meant about that's what Letitia meant about. She came with the negativity. You just feel the energy when she came in. She was expecting the worst, but y'all obliged her by giving it to her. The worst.
Marie certainly did.
Mm-hmm.
Marie
Exactly.
certainly did. Well, as we wrap this up, we want to thank you guys for hanging in with us. We appreciate you. We know this review was a little late due to Alex's travel, but we're so grateful, and so grateful and blessed to have you here. We want to thank you once again. Is there something you want to sing to Roro for her
Did
birthday?
Roro want the songs? I know Jay didn't want it.
Yeah,
You know.
Roro wanted the song for her belated birthday. Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna say it. Say 2000 party over. Oops, out of time. Hey
Oh,
baby, hey
oh,
baby. So tonight
oh,
I'm gonna party like it's
oh,
1999.
oh,
That's for you, Roro. Party like it's 1999, baby.
You are nuts. Oh, we did pretty good. I gotta listen to that on a playback.
I'm big Prince fan. I was a fanatic. You know, just love me some Prince.
I know. I heard that song today too on the way home. That's so funny. Wait a minute, Kirby. What are you saying?
Before you leave,
Uh,
Alex did actually Aubrey really call you yesterday. Oh, I guess something you spoke about earlier.
oh, okay, okay. You are a mess. You are a
Oh
mess.
man.
Well, Kirby and I, for you guys, and I'm gonna put it on the community page. Kirby and I were stars in Miss Janice Hilton's YouTube video yesterday, and we talked it up, man. We really talked it up, didn't we, Kirby?
Yeah, we're
We
gonna have to
did
go
it
look at
up.
that. I gotta go look at that.
Yeah, it's a nice long. We can't believe we kept Janice up till like 11 o'clock at night. Kirby, can you believe that? Janice is usually in bed by 7.
What was it? A 2-hour joint?
Oh, that thing is probably at least because she was on before I jumped on. She was on for an hour before, but just tune into the fast forward to the last 2 hours.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, but no, it's good stuff though. She had a lot of good stuff, and especially guys, if you're a Maps fan, Married at First Sight, yeah, really good stuff. I'm gonna have to get her over. She said she's coming over here to do a video with me, so we're gonna talk some more about Maps on this channel too. Okay, but
Yeah.
guys, we are out of here. We love you, and we're on our way out. You got anything else to say, Alex?
Yeah, just on the
yeah,
way out, hit them
them-
like buttons, comment in the replay. Please comment in the replay. I love to see the comments and respond to the comments. But
yes.
also, please go over to my channel, Magnetic Repellent.
yeah.
Ellen has been posting the link. She's been so gracious in doing that. Go over there, subscribe, and watch the videos I have. There's not many videos there yet, but there are some videos there, and new ones are coming. So I put my banner up today, very attractive banner. So yeah, but go over there, like, subscribe, and share.
Right. Let me get this back up here because I just want to end it on this.
4 hours. Oh my God.
Yeah, it was long. She was trying to rival with Kojo over there.
Yeah, I see.
But it was a lot of fun, though. It was a lot of fun. But guys, we're on our way out. We love you guys. Take care and stay safe until the next time, okay?